So today we're comparing the first position to the 13th position on the third string, and we're also comparing a G major triad to a G minor triad on the third string. So these are single string studies. Follow the lesson for free. You can pick up all these exercises from the videos for free. But if you're interested, these examples come from my Exploring the Fretboard 100 Exercises for Intermediate Guitar, and there's a link for that in the description. Of course, more serious students, you're going to want to see the music notation to get the full benefit. But you can follow lessons for free and pick up a lot of just fretboard knowledge for any style of guitar. So we've been doing a couple of these comparative exercises where we compare the first position, to the 13th position, and they're exactly the same fingering because the musical alphabet repeats itself there. So it's the same fingering and same notes, but just one octave above when you go up here. And being able to realize that and saying the note names out loud to really hear what's happening is the thing that we're learning, is that reading music up in this area or just playing music up in this area, if you're a jazz guitarist, playing music in this area is the same as playing it in this area. There's no difference, it's just one octave above. It looks different in music notation, that's for sure. But in terms of the way that the fingering works on the guitar, it's exactly the same. But these comparative exercises just aren't done enough, so my book has a lot of them in it. So let me play it first, and then we'll say the note names out loud because that's an essential step. So it's too easy to just memorize the fingering and just to play it. You can probably just imitate the video and do it on your first try almost. Saying the note names out loud is the important thing that brings it home. And like I said, you should repeat the exercise a few times to make sure that you're also building in anchor points so that you really know, like, that's A. That's A. And then you'll also know where G sharp is because you know your musical alphabet now. We're building anchor points, but we're also building an awareness of the musical alphabet on the guitar. And you can't get that if you don't say the note names out loud. I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record in these videos, but I have to emphasize it because I know that so many students are going to skip that step. But that is the exercise. Saying it out loud is the actual exercise. A, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, B, A, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, B, A. So spend a few days with that. Get to know, some of those notes and anchor points. And, when you're doing these exercises, really look at your fretboard and think about what you're saying when you're looking at your fingers. So you're only supposed to practice the exercises one at a time and in order. And you're supposed to repeat it for a while. So when you're doing that, don't just it's only 2 minutes or so, but like really think about what you're doing. Take some time and really think so A, G sharp, A sharp, B. Like, how does the musical alphabet work there? That's a tone, not a semitone. That's a semitone below, though. You can really think about the note names and the musical alphabet, how it all fits together. The more that you do that, the more you'll gain from these exercises. Exercise number 31 compares a G major triad to a G minor triad. We've done a few of these before. Let me just play it first, and then we'll say the note names out loud. So the important aspect here is that the third of the chord, third note in the scale, G, B, D. I'm sorry, G, A, B. G, A, B. Is it gets lowered in minor, right? So instead of it's but also, like that's a real simple concept to take in, but we're also building up anchor points. And by saying the note names out loud, we solidify those anchor points and we really know what note is where, and you can build an awareness, especially if you repeat the exercise for a few days. G, B, D, G, D, B, G, G, B flat, D, G, D, B flat, G. So in one way, these are easy exercises, but in other ways, I think when students, there's a couple of stages of learning connected to them. The first one might be like just finding those notes. The second one might be, thinking about, major and minor chords, so the third gets lowered a semitone. Okay, that's interesting. The other thing might be just like building a really great awareness of where the first, the fifth, and the octave are. And then when you include the third, how a major sounds kind of happy and minor sounds a little bit more sad, maybe. There's so many different things you can gain from this, but I could see like a student just playing it and then moving on to the next exercise. But if you don't say the note names, you don't repeat it, you just don't really start thinking about these things. You don't spend time with it. So just make sure you spend some time with it, doing it. You can just do it over and over, but you will build connections as you go. And I think a lot of students just haven't done this kind of stuff before, so it's just super healthy for you and really reorganizes your brain to think about the musical alphabet and how the guitar works.